I joined because it's something I'm passionate about and enjoy. If banned from sports teams and locker rooms, joining the male teams wouldn't even be a choice for me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the many issues woke culture creates for girls and women's sports continues to be a talking point, as you would imagine, and these are the issues, by the way, that according to the woke leftist liberals don't exist. I know, ridiculous. And this story today is coming out of New Hampshire because recently there was a hearing on banning males identifying as female from girls' sport at a secondary and college school level. And at the hearing, a trans high school athlete, the one you saw at the beginning of the video dominating, spoke out against the bill. Of course, how stunning, how brave. And this athlete has actually caused quite the discussion because of how dominant they are. For example, Redux posted on X, maelle Jacques, a trans-identifying male, was seen leading female runners by a significant margin during a track meet earlier this month. Jacques, who holds a girls' state title in New Hampshire, is now lobbying against laws that would prevent him from competing against girls. And hey look, I imagine these sort of bills do make male athletes who are competing against girls very nervous. You know, they start to panic because they won't be able to compete against them any longer, which means no more dominating, no more awards, no more state titles that they don't deserve. And this doesn't sit well with them because in the boys' side of things and the men's side of things, you know, they don't favor so well. And in this hearing, somehow, some way, this athlete managed to play the victim. Classic woke leftist liberal behavior. Now, before I get into it and discuss it any further, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to 70k. Thank you guys so much. Turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video, and let's continue. Transgender high school athlete addresses hearing on banning trans girls from competing in sports. After destroying high jump rivals, I didn't join sports to be better than everyone else. Yeah, well, that doesn't really matter if you didn't join sports to be better than everyone else, because in most cases you will be, because of the biological advantages you possess as a male. It doesn't matter how somebody feels in this situation, these are just the facts. A transgender high school athlete addressed a New Hampshire state hearing on banning trans girls from competing. A new bill in the state, known as SB 375, was being poured over on Monday by legislators, LGBTQ groups, and educators before the State Education Committee. It is one of two bills in the state that would ban transgender girls from competing on sports teams aligning with their gender identity. You mean require them to compete in the right category? Right. Trans teen maelle Jacques, who was born a male and previously won a girls' high jump state championship, insisted he didn't join female sports to win outright. The 16-year-old did so despite hammering the competition during high jump tournaments, as critics insist trans girls who've gone through male puberty retain considerable biological advantages over biological females. Jacques told the hearing, "I'm here to testify in opposition of SB 375. Throughout my entire life, sports has been an integral part of my belonging." His testimony continued, "Playing soccer since the age of 3 when I began my transition in the 6th grade, my school welcomed me onto the girls' team. This act of being part of the team allowed me to skip through the phase of social ostracization. The other girls accepted me as who I was. Being part of the team allowed me to be seen as normal, where everywhere else I could be perceived as a pariah. I didn't join sports with the goal of dominating competition or being better than everyone else." You see, I don't have any empathy for these athletes whatsoever when they're not allowed to compete against girls, because it shouldn't be happening in the first place. But apparently they began their transition in the 6th grade. So all adults involved there are responsible for what's going on now. You know, the parents, the coaches, because they welcomed him onto the girls' team. What are we doing here? That is why this is happening now. But society in general has caught a huge case of empathy. You know, people today feel sorry for everybody and anybody regardless of what is going on, which has allowed girls' sports to be affected by this issue because, you know, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings today. We can't stop a guy going on to a girl's team or whatever because it might make them upset. And it's interesting because I don't see any sympathy handed out for these girls who have their sports affected by this issue. What about the large majority here? Why is it always the individual that gets catered to, that gets pandered to? And we're all supposed to forget that and pretend it's not an issue and then feel sorry for the guy competing in the girls' sport who shouldn't be there in the very first place. Yeah, left is right, up is down. Common sense is hard to find. Now, here is a speech this athlete gave at the hearing where they also go on to say, joining a boys' team isn't an option for me. Take a watch.
Good morning, or I suppose at this point, afternoon, House Education Committee. My name is maelle Jacques, a 16-year-old sophomore from Newbury, and I'm here to testify in opposition of SB 375. Throughout my entire life, sports have been an integral part to my belonging, playing soccer since the age of 3. When I began my transition in the 6th grade, my school welcomed me onto the girls' team. This act of being able to be a part of the teams I belonged to allowed me to skip through the phase of social ostracization as the other girls accepted me for who I was and welcomed me, especially by their locker room rituals, like the ones where we go around and give a word of how we wanted to perform that game. Being part of the team allowed me to be seen as normal, where everywhere else I could be perceived as a pariah. I didn't join sports with the goal of dominating competition or being better than anyone else. No one would go through the bullying and self-hatred of transition purely to win a sport, especially women's sports, which are underappreciated in our nation. I joined because it's something I'm passionate about and enjoy. If banned from sports teams and locker rooms, joining the male teams wouldn't even be a choice for me with the bullying and threats I'd receive, let alone the mental anguish I'd go through being forced to be someone I'm not. Thank you for your consideration, and please vote in opposition to SB 375. Sincerely, maelle Jacques.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the committee? Not seeing any. Thank you. Yes, Representative Woodcock.
Thank you. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good.
Thank you for waiting around. I know we started at 11 o'clock this morning. Just a question. In your participation in sports, have you had any other teams complain or ask you to leave or stop the game?
Never. All the other teams have been very supportive. The only problems I've received are from outside parties like media sources and whatnot. I've never received anything negative from other teams and coaches and players.
Athletes are athletes.
Right.
Thank you.
I mean, that last statement right there is crazy to think about. Apparently, nobody had an issue with this guy competing, and that is just another reason why this happens. Now, yes, people could be scared to speak out, but if nobody speaks up from parents, fathers, mothers, whoever, then nothing happens. I mean, the other day, 5 middle school girls refused to compete against a male in their sport. So that shows me and everybody else, there is no excuse for others not to do the same. But again, it seems like this athlete here is a little stressed, maybe panicking a little bit at the thought of not being able to compete against girls. And I'll reiterate the point, their arguments aren't factual, they're always emotional. But in society, we have made emotions more important than the facts. If we introduce a bill here that is going to stop, guys from competing against girls, and a male athlete gets upset by that and they won't be able to compete against them any longer, then that is more important than how it's affecting everybody else. Oh no, we can't have a dude being upset here, even though girls' sports is being eroded. How this person feels is more of a priority. But that is the very foundation of leftism and the woke liberals we see today, victimhood behavior. Most of their arguments are based in emotion, they're emotional, and they play the victim as much as they can. And society has rewarded victimhood. Society now rewards cheating, and when you put a bill in place, that's now offensive. But back to the hearing, the article goes on to say, following the testimony on Monday, the Education Committee voted against the bill 19-1, brilliant, and have politely killed it, according to the Portsmouth Herald. A similar bill, known as HB 1205, is alive, however, after it was passed by the House in March, but has not yet been heard before the Senate. SB 375 would apply to both secondary and college school levels, and would have seen transgender females banned from entering female locker rooms and bathrooms. At the start of the month, SB 375 was voted through, with all 14 Senate Republicans voting in favor, with all 10 Democrats voting against. No surprise there. So they couldn't even get this bill passed, man. They heard all the sob stories, I imagine, and thought, oh no, we can't have that. So it seems like, if the article is correct, they will still be allowed to go into female locker rooms and bathrooms. What? Hopefully the other bill, HB 1205, which is still processing, has a good result, because if it doesn't, a lot of girls are going to be let down here. Men, boys shouldn't be going into their sports, locker rooms, changing rooms. We all know this. The fact we need bills today to stop this, it just shows you how crazy things are right now. But leave your thoughts down below nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts on this story today? I'd like to hear them all. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.